Hello everyone, my name's Ian and I am with Group 4. We call ourselves Cyberspace Resources, and our project was titled Launchcraft Creations. We are Matthew Mansfield, myself, Brian Ramos, and Edwin Ivan Flores. Something really unique about our group is that every one of us is in a different time zone. There is up to 10-hour difference between our group, and so a lot of what we had to do as far as getting our team together and drafting up our charter was finding that synchronization of time and arranging remote meetings, which is why Cyberspace Resources seemed like such a good title. So we met every Friday, and then as needed on weekends. We were confident that our remote connectivity would keep us actively in touch throughout the week, with weekly Skype meetings to ensure compliance and understanding. We communicated somewhat via email. We used a lot of Slack also, which is an amazing tool. So our core values, or our core expectations of our team, was, of course, to show up. We agreed to attend all meetings throughout the entire duration unless an emergency arose, and then we would communicate that ahead of time. We agreed to be forthcoming in our roles. If we were falling behind or requiring assistance, reach out. Coming forward with concerns about contributions with each other and with Professor Moore. We kept a constant flow of electronic dialogue throughout the week. There's that consistency. Timeliness, we will expect all team members to show up for all assigned meetings on time, and we delivered our tasks on time. It was a majority consensus for all decisions. We delivered the project on time. Our go-live was on time, and we would deliver honest, thoughtful, and thorough evaluations of our team members. Our values were, of course, similar to our agreements: honesty, respect, integrity, professionalism, and setting an example, of course, for the highest caliber of those who work with me. Incorporate the principles of honesty, respect, integrity, and professionalism consistent with that of my academic station. Our client was Chelsea Michelle. She was a Navy veteran who started creating handcrafted goods. She had been doing art since she was 9, started doing custom pens, and started doing that in the military, and found that as she came out of the military, continuing to do that really seemed to help her cope, and so it seemed like it was for a really good cause. It's for veterans. She had a desire to start launching her merchandise to the public. She is a fine arts crafter that specializes in unique designed pins and artistic jewelry. Chelsea's arts and craft has been liked and enjoyed by her current customers, but she wanted to push into that bigger market. So 3 of the main things that we decided we would need for our product for her: searchability. Our clients' customers will be able to search the website database in order to find the product that suits their needs. Our product will be searchable by clients on all major search engines. Modularity was very important. Our product will give our client front-end editing capabilities, allowing them to add, remove, and modify his or her inventories. And then, of course, sustainability. Our product will be easily maintainable, requiring only editing as achievable by the client. Our editing tools will be easily referenceable to the client for any alterations that may be needed and will not require additional users to modify. Part of this requirement also infers that we will have easy domain renewal, simplistic database editing, and affordability. So The best way to help her reach our larger market in combining our skills of informatics and network administrators was the creation of an attractive and utilitarian website, in which our customer will be able to advertise merchandise, manage their inventory, design, and sell her work. The website will have the ability to process orders, payment, and track deliveries securely. The only design tool within the website will be attractive to customers and at the same time will allow Chelsea to focus on other productive functions. The website will have legal disclaimers that will stipulate that the designs developed on her website and all of her products will be her property and intellectual property. Our MOV statement: Cyberspace Resources Management of Value for Project. Launchcraft Creations is providing the following plan to maximize Chelsea's business in a steady and conservative pace for the near future. We have a 3-year plan with a low initial cost and a well-managed maintenance expense. You can see here our sales goals. Within the first year, we want her to increase her sales by 50%. By year 2, we want them to increase by another 20%. And by year 3, we want to increase her total profits of pilot merchandise from the website location by 25%. So we actually created an interactive mind map on our project website that allowed us to track all of the activities you see here and mark them off as we went. We had progress bars, and Matt put that together for us. It was really nice to have really 2 websites that came out of this, the final product and the one we used to track our progress, since we are all over the world and all over the country. So our team consisted of Matthew Mansfield. He was our project manager. He was the software solution expert, is tasked as the technical programmer for the website and the server configuration. He laid out the code and foundation the team would be using for the website. Myself, Ian, I served as the lead designer. As a digital designer and front-end developer, I was tasked with the front-end design decisions, color schemes, logo, banner, graphics design, and the favicon for the website. As a multimedia and audio producer, I also assembled this presentation. We have Brian Ramos. He was our client relations specialist. He is a system network administrator who is interfacing with the customers. He was the face of our project, and he did a lot of the interacting with our website customer. He set up a lot of our meetings, a lot of the correspondence back and forth between Chelsea and ourselves, and he monitored change management and would provide the team and customer with the latest updates on the project. We also have Edwin Flores. He was our security manager, managing server updates and security patches, along with user access and account maintenance. He will be filling in the project gaps and assisting teammates in their tasks. So here, I just took these from our project management website. So you can see we have our start dates, our end dates, and we had progress bars going throughout. We dialed it one by one, start date, end date. It worked pretty well. We didn't have to make a whole lot of alterations. This is today. Now, risk management. The only risks that really came with a website that we could think of was the potential for our clients' personal contact information to be compromised or published. Our solution to that and the mitigation plan, which was implemented, was we added a secure socket layer to the website structure, and that prevents users from being able to contact our client directly. One issue we ran into while implementing this on March 13th, when the SSL layer was implemented, we experienced an issue with the domain. Our domain was not directing users to the IP of the server that our site was hosted on. So we had to contact Ionos, who was the server, and all they had to do was reset the server, and it worked. So it was a pretty easy workaround. Wasn't something we had considered, but Couple calls later, and it was resolved. The only other thing we could think of was a server hardware failure. But the domain host, one-on-one, which is now Ionos, uses grid hosting, and they have 24/7 support, and they were really great in helping us with the domain issue. And in the event of a power loss or hardware failure, it should only be a temporary outage. So here's our projected budget based on what we found from Ionos or one-on-one. The business web hosting, only $12 for a year. The domain name was $9 for a year. And the SSL certificate, which we added later on, was actually the bulk of the cost. We estimated that at $75 for a year, bringing the entire cost of the project to $96. So it was pretty reasonable. So along with our remote meetings, which we used Slack and Skype, our project stakeholder, so our client Chelsea, was also able to attend those meetings and remote in with us. So we were able to kind of show her the progress of the site as it developed. We were able to kind of pass on ideas, get some information, guidance from her. She really kind of helped with the aesthetics, kind of keeping it consistent with like a Wix site that she had put together for a photography business, and was able to show us her products, show us her business cards, and kind of keep the theme centralized for her brand. One problem that we did come across was after I had done all the graphic design for the logo, which was here. It was based off of her business card, and it just didn't mesh well with the rest of the site, and there wasn't a lot of guidance as to what she wanted it replaced with, just that the splash of color needed to go away. The white didn't go too well with some of that light color anyway, so even though we did meet the deadline for that on March 21st, at April 13th, I redid the whole logo. This is what we ended up with. So the logo for the website, let us inspire your creativity. I'm going to show you the results of our project. So a moment here. So this is what we came up with. Here's our homepage. You can see it has a pretty attractive theme, color base, blog posts, which she can manage and add to over time, image galleries, which will cycle of her products. The pens are the first things she showed us, and she can add other things pretty easily. She's got an admin portal that's pretty safe to use. The contact us. Now this is really cool. So it's a full-on functional shop, and you know, quite like how Amazon works. We have a shopping cart, so say I want to use the Aquadoom Nomatron or the Pina Colada. I can just add these to our cart. And there we go. Maybe I'll buy a few of them here. Go to our cart. And here we go. And we've even given her the option to allow promotional codes. So say someone spread the word about her classes, her teaching, feels that the cause is right, that you know, they really like the product, they wanted to get someone else in on it, and she said, here's a coupon code. She can email that, and the clients or the customers can add those right there. Checkout, we had set up secure payment. We have a required fields. I mean, it just looks like billing on an Amazon website or any other mobile shop, really. We can use PayPal, credit cards, and that information is secure. And of course, we had to include our required fields, and this was really important. We had to add our terms and conditions. Sorry. Property rights, making sure no one rips off her product and tries selling them on their own. Representations, no one can commit phony accounts. The product disclaimers, payment, PayPal agreements, I mean, these need to be here, and it was really great that Matt was able to get these added in. We've got our data policy, return policy, and you can even create an account, log in, so you have an order that you like, or you want to just be able to log in and boom, 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 start ordering stuff. You can sign in and do that. You can even submit a support ticket. And although our client's personal information is not available, she will receive an email from the website that there's someone requesting support. That was a very nice feature as well. And then on the administrative side, we've got a really nice portal here for if she wants to add products. It's really simple. You've got a menu here on the side. You just got products, add new, and it's pretty simple. You can add your description, your photo, pricing, and it's a very, very user-friendly layout. You don't have to be a web developer to be able to maintain the site, which was a great feature. Oh, geez. So one thing that we had talked about adding that was kind of out of the scope of the project was we did want to incorporate a design tool, an online design tool that would have allowed people to use essentially templates and mix and match parts from the different pens and products to create their own custom design and order that. And really, it was kind of out of our project scope. We didn't put it in because of just what would go into getting, photos of every individual part, all in the exact size to mix and match them, and prices for each component, and prices for labor. And, it would be a great feature. She could add that later on, but just really wasn't something that needed to be added at this time. The post-mortem exam of this project was, I would consider, quite successful. Looking at our balance and what we spent here, we actually ended up with a free SSL certificate for the first year. So what we had estimated as $96 ended up being only $24. So we had estimated $75 for the SSL certificate, ended up being free. We thought it would be $9 for the domain. It ended up being $12. So there was $3 over there, but still, for $24, she has a fully functioning shop for a year. So this was really a really big win for us. So we personally were able to locate photos of the client and find information just doing some Google searches, and she really valued her privacy. She valued her personal information, didn't really want a lot out there, and we were able to really create a lot of content without violating that privacy. It's still pretty anonymous, and that's where we implemented the privacy policy, the data encryption with the SSL layer, and gave her that administrator portal so that she could manage the website without having to contact anyone else or reach out to Brian or myself. She'll be able to be completely self-sufficient and keep her private information secure. So what went well? Considering where we were all located and that we all had jobs, full-time students, we had really good remote communications. Using Slack and being able to keep a constant flow of text dialogue was really helpful. And then having the mix with the Capstone was really helpful. Having the network admin and informatics folks, having our coder and our server configurer, and then having the design and the aesthetics taken care of. It was a really well-rounded set of skills, and I think that was why we were able to be so successful. The only things that could have been improved, the host environment issue was something that we didn't really consider. It was kind of a curveball. We were able to resolve it. The late redesign of the logos, after the stakeholder decided that she wasn't a huge fan of the original design, and we were running out of time, but managed to get that together there really quick. The only other issues was that she herself had gone back to school while we were in the middle of the project, so she wasn't able to provide us a lot of custom content, blog posts, stuff like that. So the adding that administrative portal and letting her add as she has time is going to be really helpful for that. However, we do still have to train her, and Brian has taken on that role as our liaison, and he's going to reach out. We're going to get her all up to speed on it still. So it's there for her, but she isn't completely up to par on how to use it yet. The verdict was, with exceptions to the training, all of our tasks were achieved on time. And we're going to monitor sales throughout the year, so it'll be hard to say whether or not the MOV was successful because we did a 3-year plan, so we're going to have to monitor that continuously. But we achieved all of the objectives. We were able to add her modularity, sustainability, and searchability, so that was really great. And that's all I have. Thanks.